What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Twin Wrestle Pod. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Look, it's Wednesday, March 19th, 2025. Tonight we have AEW Dynamite, and before I preview AEW Dynamite, I'm going to jump right into this. I wanted to talk about this last week, but I wasn't at home. The show from last week on Dynamite was not the best show. It's probably it might be one of their worst, if not the worst show of 2025 so far. And I wanted to talk about that because you have a main event of Orange Cassidy and Hechicero. I haven't seen personally because I don't watch Collision. I haven't seen him since last Forbidden Door, which was last year. You end the night on that, right? So let's go down. Let's go to this show, right? Kenny Omega came out, kicked off the show, and introduced pretty much a tournament. So in this tournament, you had, I want to say 8 competitors, right? And the winners of each of those matches will face each other tonight in the Fatal 4-Way. I think the tournament is tailor-made for Ricochet to win. It makes the most sense for Ricochet. He just came off a feud with Swerve, had some of the best promo work, best heel work that he's done in his whole career. Ricochet makes too much sense in this aspect. But with the impending date of All In Texas coming up after Dynasty, and Kenny Omega just now beaten and becoming the international champion, and them teasing him and Okada last year when Kenny returned at All In Texas, it's kind of tailor-made about who's going to win, and Kenny Omega is going to retain until we get to All In Texas, and then it's hands up. Whoever can take the title takes the title, whether it's him or Okada. So that's such in that aspect of Ricochet. If he ends up winning this Fatal 4-Way and challenging Kenny Omega, when people will already know the outcome. But this bracket was kind of weak. You had Shibata in there. You had, like I said, Orange Cassidy and Hechicero. Ricochet's in there. And then pretty much just a bunch of mid-card guys who's not there. They should have had a couple former international championship guys. Why wasn't Konosuke Takeshita in this tournament? Being that Kenny Omega beat him still. He's the former champ, so he has the right to be in the tournament. He wasn't there. Hangman, who just came off a win in Revolution, wasn't there. They didn't put that much stock into the people in this tournament, so that's why it's like tailor-made for Ricochet to win. I'll be surprised. The only thing about this show last week that I was really great and excited for, or a little bit happy for, was Speedball Mike Bailey's debut. Been rumored to come in AEW for a few months now, and he just made his debut last week. He was in the tournament. He defeated, who the fuck did he defeat? The Beast Mortos to advance in this round. He'll be in the Fatal 4-Way tonight. I didn't watch Collision to see the other 2 competitors. We'll get into it once we get to the preview for tonight's show. As of last week's show, it's very missed. I want to talk about this Tony Storm segment as well. The Tramp is still the champ. Awesome, the best thing going in AEW. Her Mariah May's work over the last 18 months has been phenomenal, and the best thing in AEW and the best thing probably in the women's division, period, in pro wrestling. But she came out there and pretty much dropped the ballot of who's going to be next to challenge her. Threw some shots at Mercedes Moné, threw some shots at John Moxley for the championship being in the briefcase, and them two and Mercedes being the belt collector. Who seemed to answer the challenge was Megan Bayne, and I wasn't a fan of that because I don't think she's ready. Because she's only been here a few months, she only had a few matches. Her biggest victory that I can think of is beating Chris Statlander once, and we get to a Collision. I think this past week she might have beaten Thunder Rosa. I didn't watch it, but I seen like an image of it. But I don't feel that she's ready, man. I mean, Tony's doing his job of building her there, right? But I think she needs a little more wins, a little more development with her character before she can step in the ring against Tony Storm, who's the ultimate character in the women's division in AEW so far, and possibly the ultimate character in the whole AEW roster. Granted, they don't have as much heels, but you have Deonna Purrazzo, you have Taya Valkyrie. Granted, they're not on the level because they're not being built there. They only have a shortage of heels. Camille we haven't seen her since October. Mercedes is tied up with being the belt collector. I don't even know who else on the internal roster is listed as heels in the AEW Women's Division. Britt Baker, I don't know if she's a heel or not. Serena Deeb, I don't know if she's a heel or not. Megan Bayne is the only heel that's been presented in a big light and built in a certain way. So that's why Tony Khan, I think, is going with her. But I just think it's too early for her. Unless they work an angle to where she don't take the loss and she just lose the match by DQ, which will, depending on how you go, can make her look stupid or not. But we'll see what happens when it get there. I just wasn't a big fan of that because I don't think she's ready for Toni Storm and she's not on Toni Storm's level. So I wasn't a fan of that. Talked about Speedball Mike Bailey. Another interesting aspect, we have MJF and MVP going over their history over the years from back in the day when MJF wanted to soak up the wrestling business and he drove MVP to a documentary or something like that. And MVP ended up handing MJF the Hurt Syndicate's card. And see if he'll take him up on this offer. So I thought that was interesting. Matchcaster stuff. It could be funny at times, but don't really care for it. To catch that, answered it, and dropped him and won. Willow beat Penelope Ford, and Chris Statlander came out there to make the save. And again, Megan Bayne made her presence known and stood tall over everyone in the match. So again, making her look phenomenal. But she still isn't ready for Toni Storm. Will Ospreay made his claim for All In Texas and the On Heart tournament. And he declared for the tournament, and that is, as we know, a Shoreline Championship match for you at All In if you can win that tournament. And we had Orange Cassidy versus Hechicero with Orange Cassidy picking up the win. Wasn't a great show, especially coming out at Revolution. Definitely could have been better, but it is what it is. Just wasn't a fan of that show last week. Now we get to tonight's show for March 19th. Let's look at the preview of what we got. Let's see. We obviously got Jon Moxley and Cope in a street fight for the AEW World Championship. I don't think Cope is going to win this match. I think Christian probably will come out there and cost him the match, or Jay White possibly. Someone's going to come out there and cost him the match. We'll see what happens. It's a street fight, so anything can happen. We'll see what kind of, if they make this match better than it was at Revolution. I fully expect that, but I'm say Jon Moxley picks up the win here tonight. All right, so this is the Fatal 4-Way to determine who will face Kenny Omega at Dynasty. We have Orange Cassidy, as we know, he defeated Hechicero, Mark Davis of the Don Callis family, Ricochet, and Speedball Mike Bailey. Like I say, man, out of everybody in this match, Ricochet has done the most character work. I ain't gonna really count Speedball Mike Bailey because he just made his debut last week. I expect this to be a very decent matchup, being with the competitors in there. Mike Bailey, Ricochet, and Orange Cassidy, who I believe worked together on the Indies at some point in time years ago. So we're gonna see a lot of great moves. But I'm taking Ricochet, man. It only made sense for him to come off the feud he did with Swerve and all his work. He even beat Will Ospreay, y'all. Come on, man. Ricochet should win this match and get in there with Kenny Omega. So I'm taking Ricochet tonight. Chris Statlander versus Megan Bayne. Taking Megan Bayne in this situation as obviously they building her up for Toni Storm and an eventual AEW Women's Championship match, maybe at Dynasty. This would be her second match against Chris Statlander, I believe. Chris Statlander should lose. Only way I see Chris Statlander winning this match is if Willow Nightingale come out there to even the odds. But honestly, Megan Bayne don't need Penelope Ford to come out there to help her against Chris Statlander. So I'm going to take Megan Bayne in this one, but look out for Willow Nightingale. And that is it. So far, that is teased. Yeah, that is it on the website. It's teased so far. Okay, we're not talking about anything Collision. We had Toni Storm. We all know what's next for her. Megan Bayne answered the challenge. So Megan Bayne, she's going to have to respond to that this week. So can't wait to see what's going to happen. Very interested to see all the storylines are going to play out. What do we see MJF I heard Santa came back on the show. I think they're gonna pat this show a lot with everything. With Mercedes Moné and Billy Starks, see what happened with those two. Cope and Moxley. So it's a lot of things, a lot of pieces moving. Swerve, and we know whoever wins this match, he's going to have to face that Dynasty. So a lot of moving pieces, just ready to see what's going to happen. So I can't wait for the show. Hopefully it's way better, and I assume it will be way better because they're going to stack this show to a fantastic feat tonight. But that's going to do it for the video, man. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'm going to get going so I can work on my John Cena video. So I'll see you guys. You guys take it easy, man. Peace out.